we're cruising, man. It seems to be okay. That doesn't sound right. I feel like there's something wrong with the transmission. All right, I just came back from the local transmission shop, talking to the owner. He's kind of in agreement with me that all the weird symptoms the transmission has, it just needs to be rebuilt. So we're kind of out of time here. It's 2 weeks from today is when we're leaving to go to the East Coast Bronco Roundup. So I really want to have this thing done so she can drive it there. So he's willing to rebuild the transmission for me, which is going to save us a ton of time. So I am going to slide under this thing right now, and we're going to start pulling this thing out. Hopefully we can get the transmission out today and get it back down to his shop either today or tomorrow. So here goes something. Yeah. No waste of oil. Jeez. Feel like I just did this, you know? There you go. This way. Oh yeah, it's in two-wheel drive. There we go. Where's my box? There's nothing under here that's really very grimy yet. Go. All right, both drive shafts are out, skid plate's out. Par for the course with Ford. One bolt on the skid plate was a different size, so we're just gonna throw all that junk away, get some new stuff. Trans is basically done draining. Just a drip here there. I think I'm going to pull the starter, and then maybe we'll mess with the transfer case while we're letting that drain a little more, and then we'll start worrying about getting the trans out. All right, starter's out. Looks like it's actually an OEM piece, which is pretty surprising after all these years, but it does have a pretty good crack in the cone here, so I don't think we're gonna risk it. We're just gonna, I'll order a new one tomorrow, and you know, we'll just core this thing out. So I think I'm going to move on and get the transmission shifter and the transfer case shifters unhooked now, and we'll see if we can't get the case out. All right, I think the easiest way to take the transfer case shifter apart is start at the top, so that's what we're going to do. There we go. Can we get the... There we go. Okay. Now comes the fun part. Now we gotta try and get these two off so we can take the main arm off. And then you got this big bolt here, 1 1/8 or something like that, which holds the whole bracket to the trans, and that's got to come off anyway because trans getting rebuilt, so it's got to go regardless. So let's see if I can get these little guys out, and then we'll move on from there. I think that's loose. I think that's out. There it is. Okay. Speedometer cable is out. That's the last piece of the puzzle. So now all we got to do is get them 6 bolts out, and then we can slide this transfer case off the back of the trans. Okay, transfer case is out. More wasps. What did I tell you? Wasp sanctuary. This thing has clearly never been apart before, so what we're gonna do is while trans shop is rebuilding the transmission, we will get this thing set up. We'll get it stripped down. I'm sure, you know, these things are known for having problems with the oil pump. I'm quite sure this one is going to, after 150,000 miles, this one's going to have the same problem. So we will bust this thing open. We'll take a look at the oil pump. It needs to be replaced. We'll replace it. If it's got the wear in the case and we have to repair the arm, we'll do that too. So, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, I think it's time to get under here, get the trans jack out, and get that transmission cross member out of the way. Day 2 of our transmission project. I already have, well, obviously we already have the transfer case out. I got under here. I have the entire wiring harness apart. I got all the bell bones loose already. Torque converter nuts are all off. So we're just gonna roll the jack under here so I can get the transmission cross member out of the way, and then hopefully we can just quick scoot this trans off the back of the engine and get this thing over to the shop. So let me get this cross member out of here. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Who put this exhaust system in this truck anyway? It's a little. That one fits okay. It's gonna be all them up. Okay. Now. There we go. Okay. And this member is out. Now we just gotta get these bell bolts out. And this trans can come out. Like that. Oh, it's loose. It's loose. It's loose. Oh, got it. There we go. Okay. Okay. It is loose. Oh, trailers. Okay. Okay. Where's that knob? All right. Hey. That's right. That's it. All right. Yeah. Success. All right. Transmission is out. I'm just gonna rig this thing up. We're gonna get it up in the air a little bit. I gotta get the trans mount off. I gotta get the last piece of the transfer case shifter off, and I'm gonna take the temp sensor for the altimeter gauge out and put the stock plug in. That way there's no chance of it getting accidentally broken while it's at the trans shop, or just getting transported to and from. So go grab some chains. We'll get this thing up in the air. Washer back there. Better save that. Better save that guy. Ah, look at that. Okay. Yep, here's the. Okay. Gotta save that guy. Now, oil out. You watch. Oh no, okay. We're good. Shoe back in. Okay. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna go pull the truck around. We'll get this thing loaded. This thing strapped down and we're gonna hit the road. All right, we're back from the transmission shop. He's estimating about a week to get it done and, and ready to pick up. So hopefully he'll get it done in that time. Meantime, we are going to tinker with a couple things here. I got to clean up the transmission cross member because that thing just looks awful. I'm going to order a new trans mount. We're going to get a new starter because this thing looks like, looks awful. I'm probably going to clean this up because after all these years it's kind of gross. And then I think as soon as that's done, we're going to tear into this guy here after 150,000 miles. I'm quite sure that this thing is going to need a rebuild. You know how these things are with the oil pumps. They're pretty terrible. So I'm going to get my mess out here in the driveway cleaned up, get all my tools cleaned up, and then I think we're just going to start getting all these parts prepped and cleaned up. And as soon as that's done, maybe first thing tomorrow, hopefully, we will tear into the transfer case and get this thing rebuilt. All right, so while the transmission's being rebuilt, we're going to take a look at the transfer case. So this is a Borg Warner 1356. Came in pretty much all the trucks and Broncos from 88 to 97. So there's a million of these out there on the road, in the junkyards. They're everywhere. So it's a pretty good case, but it does have some issues with the oil pump. And if you don't deal with it, inevitably you're going to wreck your case. So, while the trans is out, now's the perfect time to check this thing out. So if you have it in two-wheel drive and just take the rear output, kind of sounds like a rattle can. That's actually a good sign. That means the oil pump hasn't broken yet, but it is a bit sloppy. So there's definitely something going on, and typically it's the arm wearing out. If you've never seen it, you're going to see it here shortly. So we're going to bust the back of the case off, take a look at it, and see what's going on.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Daddy.
Hey, bud. What's going on, little dude?
I missed you.
Oh, okay. I missed you too, bud. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. Now, we're going to change this seal while we're here. Let's just get this thing out of the way a while. There we go. Okay. Now we should be able to pull. Let's take our This is not my speedometer cable. This is one from a junk case. I had it kind of jammed in here because I was scraping the, I don't know, undercoating or something. It was really gunked up. So this is, that was just to keep the hole, keep from dirt from getting in the hole. So we should now be able to take these out, and then we'll take this cover off. There we go. Okay, this is RTV. It makes me wonder if this one's actually been opened before. I thought originally they were gaskets. That's definitely RTV. Okay. Now, where is, okay. Gotta take this little clip off here. There we go. Can you get it out of there? That'd be cool. Come on. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Out. Push that away. We gotta go get a magnet. We gotta fish that ball out of there. Can't find my magnetic wand, but this should do the job. Yep, here we go. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Okay, that's over safe. Now, speedometer gear comes off. Relief from the bearing obviously goes towards the yoke. Now the snap ring has to come off next.
Daddy?
Yes, bud.
Where did that come from?
It came from inside the transfer case. There we go.
Where'd that come from?
It was right there.
Upstairs?
Yes.
You need to take these off.
We do. We got to take this whole thing apart.
Because we need to fix it.
We do need to fix it. So we're going to fix it.
Hey.
Hopefully today, little dude.
Do you know these numbers?
I do know that.
Yeah.
Okay, watch out, buddy. I'm going to open this up.
Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
10, 11,
Hang on, one more.
12.
That's right.
You got 12.
That's right, buddy. There's 12. Now,
Woohoo! Woohoo!
now, these are glued together. RTV, no gasket. So now we gotta carefully,
The glue.
sort of, buddy. Now we gotta just do this.
Okay.
See that, bud?
And
And
that
then
take it off.
yeah, then it comes apart.
Then it have to comes off. How do you do?
Yeah.
It's glue
Sort of, buddy. It's RTV.
or TV.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
It doesn't want to let go. There it is. There it is. There's a dowel on the backside. There's a dowel there. Okay. There
Whoa.
we go. Look at that.
Wrong.
Look at that. It's apart.
What's this?
The chain is pretty sloppy. I have another one that's not stretched at all, so we can compare it against. The Inside is in pretty decent shape. There's some plastic bushings on the shift forks, both for high and low range. And in this case, they're both actually in really good shape. Now, we're gonna have to dig in a little bit deeper, but you can see here's the swing arm for the pump, and that's our rattling noise. It eventually wears a groove into the side of the case here, where the arm breaks, and then the pump spins on the shaft, and then you lose all your oiling for your pump. So in our case, it's actually in really good shape, and you can even see get in here a little better. So this is your pickup tube for the oil pump. It comes to this little inlet screen, and everything is in pretty good shape. There isn't really any metal or any kind of debris or anything in the case, so I think we're in pretty good shape. But I do want to get in a little bit deeper, because I want to get this chain off and compare it against a known good chain. I have a brand new one. It doesn't get much better than that. So we're going to compare it. If it looks like it's stretched, we'll just swap it out and be done with it. So to that end, we are now going to have to remove this snap ring as well. There we go.
I just booed you, Daddy.
You just booed me.
So, why are we taking this off?
Because we have to, buddy, so that I can look at it.
Yeah.
The fork and collar make note. The tapered end goes in towards the gear. That's very important. It will physically fit the other way, but you'll never get it in and out of four-wheel drive. And that's off.
Okay.
And now I haven't removed the yoke from this one yet, which complicates things a little bit, because normally you would just take both gears and just slide them out. So since I want to change the front output seal anyway, so we're going to just go around. We'll try and zip that one off, and then we can just slide this out and we'll take the chain off. Front output yoke is off now, which means now we can basically just grab this, and with a little bit of wiggling, should, there we go, come right out. There we go.
You're silly.
Sprockets away and chain away, and now we can actually pull our, you get this, there's a
Daddy.
magnet.
You're silly.
You're silly.
Yeah,
Okay, look,
I
there's some
know.
RTV up in the oil pump pickup tube. Now we'll fish that out. All right, so now at this point, this shaft will just come out completely. So our oil pump is in pretty good shape. You can kind of see there's a little bit of wear on this tank, but it's actually not bad at all. Like, it's kind of surprising how little wear is on this, considering there's 150K on it. And if we flip this up, then you can kind of get a better look at what I am talking about, and see there's this groove right here starting to wear into the side of the case. So since we already have this apart, we are going to weld a little tab to the oil pump arm, basically right here. I did it on my 96. It's just, you can put a piece of flat stock, you can put a piece of round stock. I've seen people drill and tap the case to have a small bolt poke through, like whatever you want to do, but we're going to do something to keep this a little more rigid in this groove, so it doesn't rattle around so much, because eventually that's what's going to be the failure point for the case. And then we'll get, here's a look at all this RTV in this screen. Look at this. So they must have used too much RTV when this thing was put together, and it all kind of made it down in the pickup tube. So we'll fish the rest of that. Actually, no, there's a little more in there. I'll get all that out. We'll clean it all up. You can see the other set of bushings. Okay, you can see this fork also has plastic bushings on it, and they look like $1 million. It's actually, this case is actually in really good shape. I'm quite surprised. So I don't think we're gonna have to do anything at all, honestly, aside from we will do the repair to that for preventative maintenance, and then I think we're just gonna clean it up, slap it back together, stuff some new seals, input and output seals in it, and that's it. We'll call it good. Okay, here's the chain out of our case. Here is a brand new one I have just kicking around. So we compare the two. Nothing. Not stretched at all, even in the slightest bit. So you can see, I mean, even I thought it was kind of sloppy, but I mean, you know, there you have it, plain as day. There's nothing wrong with the chain in this case. So we're just going to clean everything up, and we're just going to slap that chain back in and move on. We need to do something about this. We don't want that. That's our failure point, and it's simply because the oil pump tang is not very robust. It's just this teeny little thing, and it puts too much leverage on the soft magnesium. So my plan is to take this piece of flat stock here, and I'm going to have to nip the end of the pump arm off a little bit. We're just going to slip that down in there and weld that to the arm. That way, when the arm rocks, this whole thing has to move, and that'll be enough material to spread the load, so it won't do any more wear on the case housing. So it's just them two little screws. They're held in by two of the screws that hold the oil pump together. So I'm just going to take two of them out. I'm going to nip a little bit off the end of the pump arm, and then we'll just weld this to that just a little bit, and that should take care of the problem. All right, that's pretty much it. Just, you know, a little bit of weld on each side, and then once you get that guy in place, that will pretty much permanently eliminate all our knocking. So let me get this installed, and then we can put this case back together. We've got our oil pump mod made, just a little bit of wiggle room. Our oil pickup is clean. Can't forget to slip that in there, and don't forget your magnet either. That's got to go in that sequence. So next thing is simply putting our chain and sprockets back in, and they kind of have to go in at the same time here. Okay, here you go. She's sitting like that. Now we can take our shift fork. Notice the round edge goes here, so like so. If you put this in backwards, you will have one hell of a hard time getting four-wheel drive to function. So get them collars lined up, which is a little awkward, like so. There we go. See that? It's set down in, and then we need our other. We'll call it a gear, sure. That spline's in there, and then when you're in four-wheel drive, that's right. So that's four-wheel drive. That's two-wheel drive. And we got to put our snap ring back on. Where am I? Right here. Okay. There we go. It's locked in, and that's pretty much all we have to do to put the case tabs together. Now, I have cleaned, I don't know how well this is coming out, but I have cleaned both of these sealing surfaces, because this does not, there's no gasket to put these things together. You have to RTV these halves together. So that's why this job is going to take 2 days, because we are going to get this up in the air. We're going to make sure that spring stays in place, and we're going to set our other half on, and all we're going to do is take all the bolts, and we're just gonna snug. That's all. We're gonna wait. We're gonna let the RTV cure overnight, and then we'll go back and torque them all down. If you do it too fast, the RTV squirts in, and either you get it in your pickup like we had when we took it apart, or you'll squish it out to the point where the case will leak, and we don't want to do this job twice. So I'm gonna go get two of RTV, ultra black, ultra gray, something good, and schmutz this up a little bit, and then we will set the back half on and get all the bolts snug down. Just enough RTV to go around. Now, let's take our half. I want to make sure that spring gets lined up on the boss. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then we just got to get it over the. Just get everything lined up, basically. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna go find my. What do I do with my Torx bit? There it is. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna. We're not sending these home with the impact gun. I'm just gonna go around one at a time. And then tomorrow, after it's cured, we'll come back and we will torque all these things down, and then we'll do the housing adapter and speedometer gear and yokes and seals and everything. So get these in and come back tomorrow. All right, it is the next day. I've already got all the screws that hold the case half together torqued back down, so that's taken care of. So all we got to do now is basically just put the tail housing together. So I'm gonna get my snap ring down into that groove, if I can get it to go into that groove. Where's my screwdriver? Yeah. Go on, go on. There it is. Okay. Now we got to put our speedometer gear on. This is going to go all the way down, and then we can. Where's the? What do you do with that little ball bearing? Geez, don't lose the ball bearing. Okay. Go. This slides back up. Get your little clip back in there somehow, if you can. Like so. There we go. Okay, cool. This is now reassembled. So, same thing as before. I'm just going to lightly RTV this. We'll get this guy set in place. I'm just going to torque it down real light. And since we do not have a transmission yet, there's no need for me to rush. So I'm just going to glue this down, and then, you know, tomorrow we'll retorque all them bolts. Okay, transfer case is now done. We got all our new seals in. We got our yokes back on. This thing is good to go. I do have to fix my vent line because it's a little dry and it cracked and tore, but minor detail. So hopefully here next week the transmission comes back and we can get this thing back together and get it on the road once more.